The heart of Game of Thrones beats with treachery, ambition and bloodshed. Episode 8 of Season 4, The Mountain and the Viper, stands as a gruesome testament to these themes. It's a turning point in the narrative, leaving audiences breathless and heartbroken. The episode masterfully interweaves multiple storylines, showcasing the brutal reality of a world where power reigns supreme. At the heart of the episode is a trial by combat. It's a fight that pits Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper of Dawn, against Gregor Clegane, known as the Mountain. Their duel is symbolic of a larger clash. It's a clash between good and evil, justice and vengeance, cunning skill and brute force. The episode's title, The Mountain and the Viper, perfectly encapsulates this central conflict. It highlights the stark contrast between the two fighters. On one hand, there's the Mountain, a hulking figure of relentless brutality. On the other, the Viper, a swift and agile warrior renowned for his deadly poison. The episode keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. It masterfully builds tension as the duel unfolds. The outcome has far-reaching consequences, not only for the characters involved but for the future of Westeros itself. It reminds us that in the Game of Thrones, even the most skilled players can become pawns in a larger, more ruthless game. King's Landing, the capital of Westeros, becomes a boiling point for various plots. The city, always a hub of intrigue and power struggles, becomes even more volatile. The trial of Tyrion Lannister, framed for the murder of King Joffrey, takes center stage. Tyrion's intelligence and wit have always been his weapons of choice, but they prove insufficient against the relentless accusations of his sister, Queen Cersei. Facing certain death, his only hope rests on a champion fighting on his behalf. This champion emerges in the form of the Red Viper, Oberyn Martell. Oberyn has his reasons for volunteering as Tyrion's champion. He seeks vengeance for the brutal murder of his sister and her children. The perpetrators? The Mountain, acting on the orders of Tywin Lannister, the patriarch of House Lannister. Meanwhile, outside the confines of the Red Keep, Arya Stark continues her journey with Sandor Clegane, the Hound. Their path, fraught with danger and hardship, leads them closer to the Eyrie. Arya hopes to reunite with her aunt, Lysa Arryn. The duel between Oberyn Martell and Gregor Clegane is not just a fight, it's a spectacle, a dance of death that captivates the entire city. The crowd watches with bated breath as the two warriors circle each other. Their weapons gleam under the scorching sun. Oberyn, agile and swift, uses his speed and spear to keep the Mountain at bay. His movements are fluid, almost graceful, a stark contrast to the Mountain's lumbering strength. The Viper lands several blows, each one infused with poison, weakening the seemingly invincible giant. Victory seems within Oberyn's grasp. He becomes overconfident, driven by his thirst for vengeance. He demands a confession from the Mountain for the murder of his sister and her children. This moment of hesitation proves fatal. The Mountain, though severely wounded and poisoned, sees his opportunity. He tackles Oberyn, bringing the agile warrior crashing down. In a gruesome display of brutality, he crushes Oberyn's skull with his bare hands. The crowd watches in horror, the cheers of moments ago turning into stunned silence. The Mountain's victory sends shockwaves through King's Landing. It shatters any illusion of justice or fairness. Oberyn Martell, despite his skill and cunning, falls victim to the Mountain's brute force. This outcome highlights the harsh reality of Westeros. In this world, might often trumps right. The powerful dictate the rules, manipulating the courts and twisting justice to serve their interests. The trial of Tyrion Lannister perfectly exemplifies this. He's innocent of the crime, but condemned nonetheless. The Red Viper's death, while tragic, serves a crucial narrative purpose. It underscores the series' central theme, the corrupting influence of power. It reminds us that even the most righteous individuals can become entangled in the web of deceit and violence that permeates Westerosi society. The episode leaves viewers grappling with unsettling questions. What is the true meaning of justice? Can vengeance ever be truly satisfying? And in a world ruled by power, what hope is there for the innocent? The consequences of the trial by combat are immediate and devastating. Tyrion, denied his champion's victory, is sentenced to death by his own father, Tywin Lannister. This betrayal pushes Tyrion to his breaking point. Oberyn's death also has a profound impact on Dorne, his homeland. The Dornish people, known for their fierce independence and pride, are outraged. Their thirst for vengeance against the Lannisters intensifies, further destabilizing the Seven Kingdoms. The episode's ending is bleak. It leaves a lingering sense of despair. The death of the Red Viper, a beacon of hope for many, reinforces the show's grim outlook on the human condition. It suggests that even the most valiant efforts to fight for justice can be met with brutal defeat. While tragedy unfolds in King's Landing, Daenerys Targaryen faces her challenges across the Narrow Sea. She's on a mission to reclaim her birthright, the Iron Throne. However, ruling proves to be a much more complex task than conquering. Daenerys finds herself grappling with the responsibilities of governance in Meereen. The city, recently freed from slavery, is plagued by unrest and rebellion. She must find a way to maintain order. She wants to win the support of the people she aims to rule. Her storyline, though geographically separated from the events in King's Landing, mirrors the same theme of power and justice. Daenerys, like those vying for control in Westeros, must confront the complexities of ruling. She learns that good intentions alone are not enough to ensure peace and prosperity. Her journey in Meereen serves as a parallel to the power struggles in Westeros, highlighting the challenges of leadership and the often blurry lines between liberation and tyranny. Arya Stark's journey with the Hound provides a stark contrast to the political intrigue of King's Landing. Their storyline offers a glimpse into the lives of ordinary people caught in the crossfire of war. Arya, hardened by loss and hardship, continues to learn about survival. The Hound, despite his fearsome reputation, emerges as a complex character. He grapples with his past and shows a gruff protectiveness towards Arya. Their dynamic is a study in contrasts, highlighting the unlikely bonds that can form in the face of adversity. Their journey, while seemingly detached from the main power struggles, underscores the far-reaching consequences of the conflict. It reveals how the Game of Thrones impacts the lives of every inhabitant of Westeros, not just the nobility. Tyrion Lannister's trial is not just a legal proceeding, it's a public spectacle that lays bare the deep-seated resentments and power dynamics within King's Landing. Accused of a crime he didn't commit, Tyrion becomes a pawn in his family's game of power. His wit and intelligence, which have served him well in the past, seem to fail him. He faces a relentless prosecution orchestrated by his own sister Cersei, who is driven by blind hatred and a thirst for vengeance. Tyrion's eloquent plea for justice before the court falls on deaf ears. He exposes the hypocrisy and corruption of the nobility. However, his words are powerless against the deeply entrenched system of privilege and power. His only hope lies in finding a champion to fight for him in a trial by combat, a desperate gamble that ultimately backfires. Oberyn Martell's quest for vengeance against the Mountain drives his actions throughout the episode. He sees the trial by combat as an opportunity to exact justice for the murder of his loved ones. However, his thirst for revenge clouds his judgment. His initial triumph over the Mountain gives way to a fatal overconfidence. He allows his emotions to get the better of him. This lapse in judgment costs him his life. Oberyn's demise serves as a cautionary tale. It highlights how the pursuit of vengeance can consume an individual, leading them down a path of destruction. The episode suggests that true justice cannot be achieved through violence and retribution. It comes at a high cost, often leaving more pain and suffering in its wake. The Mountain and the Viper is not just a fantasy epic. It holds a mirror to our world, reflecting the same struggles for power, justice, and vengeance that have plagued humanity for centuries. The episode's themes resonate deeply with real-world issues. The corrupting influence of power, the abuse of justice for personal gain, and the devastating consequences of vengeance are all too familiar. The episode reminds us that while the world of Westeros may be fictional, the human flaws and motivations that drive its characters are very real. It encourages viewers to reflect on the complexities of morality and the choices we make in the face of injustice. By highlighting the human cost of violence and the often futile nature of revenge, the episode prompts us to consider more constructive paths towards achieving a just and equitable society.